Hey you, hey yo, what's up? What's happening, dude? Hey you, hey yo, what's up? What's happening, dude? Have you ever heard of the three Wandrin Brews? If not, oh well, here's a clue. It's more than a name, it's a picture, my brew. Like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and you, the three legendary dudes on a journey of faith and promises and epic moves. And Abraham, the father of the nation, and Isaac, the son of laughter and foundation, and Jacob, the one who wrestled and rose to a brand new station. If something just made for you, so grab a seat and bring the crew, and let's dive in a story so fresh and true. Hey, let's go.
Shalom, family. My name is Jamar, aka Brother Jack, from the Kingdom of Yah Over Culture Ministries, and you are watching the Three Wandering Brews on the Brewlings Network. Lend me your ear as I want to share with you a short story about a kid named Malcolm. Stick around for a while. I think you might enjoy it. Malcolm is a newly promoted freshman who shows up to his high school basketball tryouts late. Malcolm knows that he is the best point guard in the city. All of his peers recognize Malcolm for his amazing ball handling skills and his ability to dunk at such an early age. Anyone who watches Malcolm play can clearly see that the Most High Yah has anointed him with talent and bestowed upon him a very high basketball intelligence. Let's just say this young Ock got some game. So check it. There's a newly hired head coach this year. He's a previous NBA champion and retired college basketball recruiter. He doesn't know Malcolm from the next guy. Malcolm's arrogance caused him to be late. He figured whenever he showed up, the whole gym would cheer for him, and that he would instantly be added to the roster as the starting point guard. This tryout was gonna be a breeze, thought Malcolm. Malcolm's father is a hard-working man, and his father always reminded Malcolm of his humble beginnings as a water boy for his high school basketball team. When Malcolm's father was a freshman in high school, he also tried out for the point guard position, but he didn't make the cut for the varsity team that year. Gracefully, instead of getting upset with himself, his coaches, or his peers, he practiced all year and traveled with his team. So by the next year, he tried out again and became the star point guard. After winning the high school state championship during his senior year, Malcolm's father went on to become a 3-time men's NCAA basketball champion. Curiously enough, Malcolm doesn't really like hearing about his dad's humble beginnings. He always thought that his dad was just trying to downplay how good he actually was at basketball. The truth is, Malcolm's dad had to work hard to earn his spot on every team he played for. After successfully winning 3 basketball championships in college, Malcolm's father also beat cancer twice. His dad was his hero. That morning, Malcolm's father wanted to surprise him by showing up to his high school tryouts. So, Malcolm's father told him the night before that he was going to go out of town for a business trip and that he wouldn't be back home until the next day. Malcolm was disappointed, but he understood that his dad had work to do. Little did Malcolm know, his beloved father was going to cancel that business trip so that he could be at the gym to cheer his son on. Needless to say, Malcolm showed up 15 minutes late to the tryouts. right after all of the players finished running sprints up and down the court. As Malcolm walks into the gymnasium, he was immediately regretful, as instead of being greeted with adoration and cheering like he so arrogantly thought, the gym was absolutely quiet. But wait, where was everyone? Nobody was there. I mean, not even a squeak of a shoe. A dribble of a ball, nor the high-pitched shrill of a whistle could be heard in the newly renovated $1.2 million facility. Where was everyone? Just as Malcolm stood there in bewilderment, he heard someone call his name.
Malcolm! Hey, Malcolm! Bro, you missing tryouts, man!
Said Mouse, his little brother. Mouse was his biggest fan. Mouse wanted to be just like his brother Malcolm, except Mouse was born with a rare condition that affected his growth. Mouse has always remained shorter than all of his friends, but Mouse's faith in the Most High and his courage has always been mighty in size. Mouse was fearless because he never let his height and stature dictate his status. So, here comes little Mouse running up to his big brother.
Big bro, the new coach moved the tryouts to the old gym.
Just then, all of Malcolm's confidence fled from his body like a runaway train with no brakes.
What? Why?
Said Malcolm anxiously. Mouse said,
Come on, you'll see.
Malcolm and Lil Mouse quickly ran over to the old gymnasium where the tryouts were being held. To Malcolm's astonishment, it looked like the whole city was watching. Everyone had been anticipating that with the hire of the new head coach, this was the year that the school was positioning the team to win the state championship for the first time in 30 years, which happened to be the senior year of Mark Maxwell, Malcolm's father. As Malcolm and Mouse made their way to the entrance of the gym, they saw Malcolm's science teacher, Mr. Q, who was also the high school band director. Mr. Q was standing at the concession stand when he spotted Malcolm and Mouse.
Mr. Maxwell,
shouted Mr. Q.
Son, you should be out there trying out with the rest of the fellas. What are you doing out here? Are you hurt?
No, sir,
said Malcolm with his head down. Mr. Q said,
Boy, if you don't get out there before you miss your opportunity, you know this gonna be the championship winning team. You still have time, son. But you need to humble yourself and plead with them coaches to let you have a chance to try out.
Yes, sir,
said Malcolm softly, voice cracking like a 15-year-old's voice does from time to time. Mr. Q was old school. He was also one of his dad's teammates on the high school championship team. Mr. Q was no nonsense, but the man had a heart of gold. He always reminded his students about guarding the Torah, using your talents to honor the Most High Yah and his son Yeshua by keeping his commandments and loving your neighbor, not unto righteousness, but of obedience and love for the Most High. Look, 5 years ago, this man donated his high school championship ring to help pay for the senior citizens center across the street. Malcolm never really understood why he did that. Mr. Q looked Malcolm up and down and he said,
Go on out there, Malcolm. Hurry up now, boy.
Yes, sir,
said Malcolm.
You can do it,
yelled Mouse.
Thanks, little bro,
smiled Malcolm as he handed Mouse the old basketball his dad gave him from high school. Malcolm takes that ball everywhere he goes. He's had that ball since he was at least 2 years old. Running and weaving through the crowded corridor of the gym, here comes Malcolm, running over to the coaches as they were preparing workouts and skills challenges for the next part of the tryouts.
Well, if it ain't Lil Maxwell. Showing up 20 minutes late to the tryouts,
said one of the coaches. It was Coach Brews. He was the former varsity basketball head coach for like 10 years. However, this year, he ended up stepping down to become the assistant varsity basketball coach. The community was tired of losing, so they all chipped in to pay the salary of Coach Lewis, the new head coach. let's just say that Coach Bruce was a little salty. Malcolm ran up to the coaches and humbled himself before them, pleading and begging for a chance to try out.
I'll work hard, I promise. I'll show you I can make the cut,
said Malcolm. Coach Lewis was a tall man. He was so tall, it seemed like there might have been a special factory built just to make his clothes and shoes. Coach Lewis leaned down and tapped his watch.
What's your name, son?
Malcolm, Coach,
stuttered Malcolm.
Malcolm, is it? Okay, Malcolm. What's your last name?
Said Coach Lewis.
Maxwell, Coach,
Malcolm said.
Malcolm Maxwell? As in Mark Maxwell, boy?
Exclaimed Coach Lewis.
Yes, sir,
said Malcolm. Coach Lewis stood back up real tall. He folded his arms across his chest and began to scratch his beard. Then he held his hand up and pointed to the top left bleachers inside the old gym, and to Malcolm's amazement, there was his dad, Mark Maxwell.
Oh, man.
Malcolm's dad was standing with his mom, his little brother Mouse, and his older sister in the bleachers. Malcolm began weeping as reality set in that his dad was in the building and he was late to the tryouts. Malcolm was standing on the sidelines fighting back tears as he watched the other student athletes working hard, performing layup drills.
Do you know why we're in this old gym, Malcolm?
Said Coach Lewis, the former NBA champion.
No, sir,
said Malcolm with a sniffle.
Because young men like yourself need to understand what it means to start from the bottom and work your way up.
What do you mean, Coach?
Asked Malcolm.
Young man, this gym has been the starting place for at least 30 NBA champions. I lost my senior year high school championship right here in this very gym. I was matched up against your dad 30 years ago, and he had the best game of his high school career that night.
Malcolm looked to the stands and spotted his dad again. He was so hurt. Then Coach Lewis pointed towards the entrance of the gym.
Now, son, that gym over there is a $1.2 million facility. Every student athlete on this team will have to earn the right to even step foot into that gym, let alone dribble a ball on that new floor in there. You are no exception to the rule, son.
Coach Lewis sternly stated.
Yes, sir,
Malcolm said.
Have a seat on the bench, son,
said Coach Lewis. Malcolm was embarrassed because everybody in the gym saw him sitting on the bench instead of trying out. Malcolm wondered to himself, man, why did Coach make me sit on the bench though? After the tryouts ended and the crowded gym cleared out, Malcolm remained seated on the bench. Coach Lewis spotted Malcolm still sitting on the bench as he was finishing up his meeting with the trainers and assistant coach Bruce. Malcolm's dad, witnessing all of this, motioned to his wife and his children to go ahead and head on home. He told them that he would walk back with Malcolm from the gym just to kind of see where his head was and to talk some sense into him. Malcolm had watched all his friends try out for the team while he sat on the bench the whole time. Just then, Coach Lewis motioned Malcolm's dad to come over and have a conversation with him. Even after Malcolm's dad and Coach Lewis's long discussion concluded, Malcolm remained seated on the bench. He was reflecting on his actions. He started to truly regret being late. Coach Lewis and Malcolm's dad walked over to Malcolm smiling. Malcolm was confused. Coach Lewis blew his whistle.
Hey, Malcolm, you got enough rest yet, son?
Malcolm looked around and pointed to himself like, who, me? Coach Lewis chuckled. His dad chuckled, and they were both grinning from ear to ear now. At this point, Malcolm was super confused. He thought to himself, man, what's going on? Malcolm's dad walked over to Malcolm and said,
stand to your feet, son.
Yes, sir,
said Malcolm as he stood up.
I hope that this has been a lesson to you, son, that all of your actions have consequences, every single one of them. As you stood there looking at your peers, sweating and giving their all to join the team, this was a moment of chastisement for you. The Father has allowed you to see how hard your peers have had to work in order to do things that come so naturally to you. You got talent, son, but your attitude needs fixing.
Malcolm became very frustrated at this point.
But Dad,
Malcolm pleaded.
I know I messed up. I know I did. But everyone in the city know I'm the best point guard. Come on now. Can you talk to Coach Lewis to see if he'll let me try out for the team? Please.
Nah, son. You missed your shot. You had the same opportunity all of your other peers had. You let your pride get the best of you, boy, and it clouded your judgment,
Explained Malcolm's dad.
Just because you are my son and all of your peers know how good of a basketball player you are, those things don't mean a thing if you serve only yourself and your selfish desires. Do you have what it takes to be a servant leader, Malcolm? Asked his dad.
What's that, Dad?
Said Malcolm.
A servant leader is someone who leads by example, son.
But Dad, I am a leader. Everybody knows I can get this team to the championship. Yeah. Don't you think Coach Lewis is overreacting?
Malcolm cried.
Wow. Boy, I don't think it's clicking for you just yet.
Said Malcolm's dad.
Trust and believe. I got something that's gonna definitely open your eyes up. Just wait. Hey, Coach Lewis, Malcolm's father yelled.
Yeah, Coach Lewis yelled back.
Since the little superstar has had so much rest, let's let him run through the workouts that all his peers had to do. And once he's done with that, how about we let him clean up the gym? What you think, Phil?
Malcolm's mouth dropped.
That sounds like a plan, Mark. That's what I'm talking about.
Coach Lewis smiled and said, let's just say Malcolm was humbled that day. He did all of the workouts from the tryouts, and then afterwards, he swept up the gym. After Malcolm finished sweeping, Malcolm's father brought him an ice-cold bottle of water. Then he gently took the broom from his son, and he hugged him. Looking right into his son's eyes, he said,
even though you made a mistake, my love for you will never change, kiddo. I will always be your dad. You will always be my son.
Malcolm buried his head in his father's chest and began to cry. Malcolm was forever changed from that moment on. And although Malcolm didn't make the team that year, Coach Lewis was gracious enough to allow Malcolm onto the practice team. Malcolm served as the water boy, and he traveled with the team, just like his dad did at his age. Not only did Malcolm's basketball skills become even better than before, but this time, he was no longer just known for his amazing basketball talent and IQ, but rather now, he became known for how committed he was to the team. Malcolm had become the servant leader that his dad was talking about, leading his peers by example. Malcolm began to help his teammates with their homework. He even began to lead team prayers before and after the games. Malcolm's attitude changed drastically that year. He couldn't wait for his shot to try out again next year. Remember, family, in Isaiah 13:11, the word of Yah says, I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness or the pride of the terrible. Listen, family, remember to always humble yourselves. Confidence is good, but humility is greater. So I pray that this has been a blessing to you. Until the next one, shalom, 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 yabarak. Peace and blessings, family.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to Gestarb's One-Stop Farm Shop. In this video, I'm going to be testing out the new layout of my blacksmithing shop to make sure it's set up in a way that allows me to work efficiently. Now that my piece of steel has reached a forging temperature, I'm going to forge a simple knife out of rebar. My original Touchmark stamp had my full name, but there were too many letters and the stamp was not working properly. So I grinded off my first and my middle name and kept my last name, and now the stamp is working perfectly.
A blacksmith is the type of metal worker who specializes in working with iron or steel by heating it up and striking it with a hammer to shape it. Did you know that there were blacksmiths in the Bible? For a long time, there weren't any blacksmiths in Yasharel. The Philistines didn't want the Israelites to learn to make weapons for their armies, so Israelites had to go to them for purchases and repairs. Do you know the name of the first blacksmith metalworker named in Torah? The Most High gave some Israelite men the gift and the skill to forge or work with all kinds of metal, wood, and jewels to build the tabernacle. Can you find their names and what tribes they were from?
Chosen. Yeah. I see. Yeah. I wanna dance like David in the movie with the sway. Got the West Coast vibe, living righteous all the way. Got the rhythm and the whole groove, dancing in the street, and you know I can't lose. Yeah. I wanna
vibe and we're grooving. But West Coast son, and you know I ain't losing. The rhythm with grace and then the stuff and the sound and the love is what I found, You know we out who they men, yo, we swinging. Freaking out his name in the street and we dancing like David. His love will never grow old. We dancing like David, like we never done before. In the beat of my soul, let the holy rock take control and our feet on the ground, but my heart is still on fire. But I'm different for y'all and I'm lifting them higher, like David in the street, no fear in his eyes, giving the praise to the Most High in the sky, with every move that I make, then I'm breaking the chains and I'm dancing for His holy name, gotta shout it out, let the whole world know. Righteous is the love, let it overflow, Every heartbeat, every step is free, and I'm dancing in Yahuwah's victory. I dance like David, feelings and free. Got the joy in my soul for eternity, and move to the music, hear heaven sing, and I'm dancing for the King, yeah.